Hi, I'm Margaret Sprague-Dudley. I am the editor-in-chief of The Scroll, and I'm here to interview Mr. Zimmerman about his new position as the permanent head of school. Hey, Mr. Zimmerman, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Margaret. How about you?
I'm doing great. So for this interview, I have some questions of my own, and I also asked the student body for questions. So
great.
The biggest thing on everyone's mind is, why did you choose to accept this role instead of returning to your work as an attorney?
Yes, a great question. I think I chose to accept this role for a couple reasons. The first is I've really enjoyed the work so far. The few months I've been here, I have found to be incredibly rewarding. The people around here, the students, the faculty, the staff, just have been a ton of fun to work with, and there's a lot of committed, smart people. So I wanted to continue to be a part of that because I think this school is on a good trajectory, and I think the next 5 years are exciting and important. I think the other piece of it is a sense of service. Obviously, as an alum and as a parent and somebody who's been around this school a long time, I am deeply committed to it. And so when the search committee came to me and asked me to stay long term, I just felt like I couldn't say no to that on behalf of an organization I care about.
So going off of that, in what ways have you been involved with the Country Gay community over the last years?
Just about everywhere I can, to be honest. So obviously I'm an alum and a neighbor. I grew up across the street. I've been a parent for the last 8 years, trustee for 6 years. I was the Alumni Council president for a couple of years as well. And I've been someone who's volunteered with the mock trial team. I've coached youth sports. So just about everywhere I can, I've been involved in Country Day.
And how do you think your work as an attorney can help in this position?
I actually think it's pretty good preparation for a few reasons. To be an attorney, certainly to be a litigator, is to solve complex problems, often in a fast-paced and high-stakes environment. I think to be an effective litigator, you've got to be able to work in a team and lead a team, and that's certainly something that's called for here. And I think to a certain extent, you have to be comfortable resolving conflict and having difficult conversations. And again, that's a skill that I think is called for as the head of school. So far I've felt comfortable in the role and feel well equipped to lead the school.
You said you enjoyed the work as the interim head so far. Now that you're long-term head, we talked before and you had some goals. Now that you're long-term, how has your view of the position changed?
I don't know that my view of the position has changed, but I think my view of my task ahead has changed a bit. To your question, I said to you last time we talked that I wanted to focus on uniting the community and providing continued momentum for the next head. And there's no reason I should not continue to focus on those two aims, but I think now I take a broader and more long-term view. And so I'll be doing a lot of listening to the community and understanding what those essential parts of the Country Day experience are that ought to remain steady as we approach our 100th year in 5 years. And then also understanding where our growth opportunities are as well. And so we'll probably start having more strategic and generative conversations about the future as we work through the fall.
So what do you think are some of those places where we can improve or stay the same?
Well, I think that's going to be the product of a community conversation. I've got some ideas, but I think it's important that those long-term visionary thinking ideas come from the community. They come from the faculty, the staff. They come from the students, the alums, the parents. So I don't think that is a top-down initiative. I think that's going to be a community conversation. And again, I've really got my eyes set on 2026, our centennial, as a critical pivot point for our school's history.
Last time we talked, you said that COVID influenced you taking the interim head position. Has that influenced this position as well?
I don't think it's really influenced this decision. COVID enhanced my capacity for change and probably gave me the comfort level to take on the interim position. But having been in it, I don't know that COVID played a role. It's again more just a sense that I wanted to be a part of the continued momentum here, and I wanted to keep working with the talented folks we have. I think my desire to take on the role long term has less to do with COVID and more to do just with the school itself.
Yeah, and with the school itself, what are some ways you think are your plans for supporting teachers and fostering leadership here?
Great question, Margaret, because obviously teachers are at the heart of what we do. And when I think back to my own time here, it's really the teachers that I think about and the relationships between teachers and students. And that, I think, will always be the hallmark of this place. And so I think supporting teachers is of vital importance. I need to listen to teachers. I need to give teachers, I need to empower them to lead themselves at times as well. And so one of my clear focuses for the coming years will be on teachers and making sure they have everything at their disposal to continue to be as excellent as they have been for so long.
What do you hope to learn over the next year about this position?
I've got a lot to learn. One of the things I'm going to spend much of the fall doing is listening and talking to students and alums and faculty and staff and parents and learning more about this role and about this place. One of the things I'm doing right now is trying to talk to every single faculty and staff member here at the school, from the division heads to the groundskeepers, to understand what makes this place tick. So I hope to learn everything about it, but mostly what I said earlier, I hope to learn what people think is essential to Country Day, and then I hope to learn their sort of dreams for the future and where we might go down the road.
So you've been a trustee for a while, and I feel like being a trustee and being the head of school, you get a different degree of recognition from the students.
Yes.
So you've been at quite a few sports games. Have you noticed that different students coming up to you now?
I have, and that's one of the great things about it, to be honest. You know, as a trustee, I think it's your charge to stay above the operational details of the school and to be more long-term and generative in your thinking. And as the head of school, obviously, it's quite the reverse. You want to be involved in everything. And it's important that I be visible. To be very honest, I also just like doing it. I love being out there. I love talking to people. I love seeing kids where they are. And I think for students, if you don't see them on stage or on the field, you miss sometimes an essential part of who they are. So I love seeing our students on the field of play, expressing themselves. And I love seeing, the students in the stands and just getting to know them outside of the halls of the school. I think it's one of the most enjoyable parts of the job so far.
Did you play any sports in high school?
I did. I played basketball, baseball, and golf, and I was notably mediocre in all three of them. But I got a lot out of sports. Sports was a big part of my experience here, and Country Day was great for me in that regard because I would not have been a three-sport athlete at a lot of schools. And I think I learned a lot about leadership and accountability and teamwork and sacrifice through sports in a way that, Country Day really equipped me with that to an extent that other schools might not have.
All right, now I have some rapid fire questions,
Okay.
stuff for people to get to know you. Okay, chicken nuggets or chicken tenders?
Chicken tenders. I think it's weird to have adults eat chicken nuggets, I guess.
Fair. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Favorite sport to watch?
Ooh, all of them. Probably a tie between baseball and golf.
Okay. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Does anybody say vanilla?
I like vanilla.
Do you? Okay.
What's your lucky number?
I don't really have one. I'm too hyper-rational to have lucky numbers.
Coffee or tea?
Love them both with coffee.
Pineapple on pizza?
Never.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
If you were to be any animal, what would it be?
A nighthawk, obviously.
Of course. Are you a morning or a night person?
I was a night owl for a long time, but having kids, I think, makes everybody a morning person, so I'm a morning person now.
Fair. Favorite movie?
I would say it's probably a tie between Casablanca and Chinatown.
And white or blue?
Blue.
Good answer. All right, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.